my God. Oh my God. I said, wait a minute. Because sometimes in life, there are moments where you just say, all right, like, whatever, personalities, we do just talk shit. And there's other days where there are like little breadcrumbs drop throughout the whole week. And then on Friday, you can just come and do your show and bake a whole loaf of bread with all of the crumbs you collected. Now, if you have breadcrumbs, that means it was already baked bread. But you get what I'm saying. Anyway, today is Friday, March 3rd, and this is Still Diverted. I'm Malcolm. Okay, we're going to talk right over each other. Give me a little sister tease. So today, Nicki Minaj, Remy Ma, we're getting into it. We're going to pack this whole entire thing. Remy dropped a new diss track last night. She was on Wednesday this morning, so we have a lot to talk about.
And Lauren London, she gained weight, I guess, in the last couple of weeks, and now the internet is going crazy.
Yep, plus Corey Holcomb versus Jess Hilarious.
Not even versus.
Corey Holcomb just shows how much of a dumbass he is, but we'll break it down and get into it. Break it down, sisters.
Hey!
Alright, let's do this. It's Still Diverted. Alright, so like you've heard. So Nicki Minaj versus Remy Ma. Let's just jump right into this. There's no need to thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Glam Squad. There's no need to even belabor it any longer. So as you've all heard, so first Nicki dropped two diss tracks against Remy Ma.
Right.
One with Jason Derulo. The other one I think is called Make Love with Gucci Man.
Jason Derulo.
But I've heard that the Jason Derulo feature is better than the Gucci Man one. I haven't heard it.
Okay.
But look at us just collecting each other today. Yeah, so I haven't heard it either way. Fast forward. So that was on Friday. That was actually like on our prep. And I'll be honest, I jetted it. Kenny was like, "You want to talk about this?" And I was like, "No, because I don't care about a Nicki Minaj diss track." And once I heard it, it was whack. So that's why I really didn't care. Fast forward next day, Saturday night, as we all know, Shether comes out, or Ether, however you want to say it. I don't really know. Remy 7-minute diss track against Nicki Minaj. Shether. We wait. Oscars roll around. Moonlight wins. Shout out to Moonlight.
Hey.
Tuesday comes around. It's Taco Tuesday. Bitches eating tacos at Cantina. Wednesday comes around, Thursday comes around, there's nothing until last night. And I said, oh, okay. Nicki finally wrote back. No.
Not exactly.
Remy responds with another diss track called Another One. And,
Stop. Why did you say another one like that?
Because that's how it's said.
So
in this track, Remy's taking some obvious shots at Nicki Minaj again. She sampled back-to-back Drake's beat. She also samples a lot of what Drake says in the song. So the song starts with, oh man, not again.
Oh man, oh man.
Yeah. Okay. So, today, Remy was on Wendy, and she discussed... We're going to have to pay for that. So, she discussed...
the day.
Right?
The day.
Oh, no, you have to pay for that. That's royalties.
Yeah, but we don't even have the instrumental under. We was just...
That doesn't mean anything.
It was just a little second...
So anyway, so Remy and Fat Joe went on Wendy this morning, and of course, they were booked for Wendy weeks before this diss track came out. But shout out to Wendy for ideally getting the exclusive, because this is Remy's first interview since this track has dropped. So she went on Wendy to discuss a couple of things, including but not limited to this diss track. So just some quick highlights from the interview. So when Wendy asked her, what brought all of this about. So Remy obviously said she heard the two diss tracks that were whack. They were a dub. Everything you did has been a dub, and your last album was a dub. I really do love Remy Ma. But yeah, so Remy said there was a lot of personal stuff, a lot of behind the scenes things that were happening. So she said Nicki was trying to keep her off of red carpets, and if Remy was gonna win an award, Nicki was telling, I guess, ideally BET or Eccentric or the Grammys that she wasn't gonna show up, and it was a lot of petty things that were going on behind the scenes. And Remy wasn't feeling it. And Remy was like, ideally, once you're trying to, keep me in my bag or out of my bag, I'm not that good with the street vernacular like that. But basically, she was saying, once you're trying to keep money out of my pocket, now we got a problem, bitch.
Yo, that's funny that you actually say that, because I was talking an idea about it. And I was like, bag? What do you mean bag? Or was I talking about...
No, I was probably talking to Zia.
And I was like...
Because I know when they say in your bag, it's like when you're in your feelings.
Yeah, she was like, and something in her bag. And I was like, wait, what does that mean? She was like, girl, her money. I was like, oh, okay, yes. That makes sense. Bag, money, got it.
I've heard of it in a loving thing. Or like emotions. She had her bag to that.
That's new, though.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Fairly. Yeah, so, I guess those were most of the highlights from the show. Remy also said that she dressed for a funeral today, and I guess so did we. Like, not on purpose, but it just so happened that
Killing
way.
all y'all other personalities out here. Y'all not saying nothing.
But yeah, so what do you think? Do you think this is as personal as Remy is making it seem?
Okay, so one, can we please discuss the whole Azealia Banks thing and who Nicki Minaj was really trying to
I was going to leave that out just because I don't think... So there was an art... Well, unless you can do this properly, then go ahead. Because...
Well, it's just as simple as this. So if you heard the song, Nicki's talking about a female rapper, and she's like, you don't have any plaques, you don't, your albums suck,
mm-hmm.
your music is not
you
even...
don't sell,
you don't sell anything.
To be the queen of rap, you gotta have plaques,
nothing on iTunes, nothing at all.
Yeah.
So it's just like, who is she talking about, really, right? Everybody discussed that it was Remy Ma because for a long time, even Remy Ma came to Hot 97 like, listen, I'm not talking about Nicki. But it was just a coincidence how that song Make Love comes out like a week later after she was already on Hot 97. So it looks like she's talking about Remy Ma. But... Sorry,
and for the record, Remy has always held true to that. Like, when Remy talks about somebody, it is very clear who she's talking about.
Right.
Remy doesn't do subs. She's petty, but she ain't that petty.
Right. But Nicki, on the other hand, she's not really about that life.
On the other hand...
So with that said...
In the other barrel...
Everybody's saying, or at least the people who are, like, conscious of this, is that who she really is talking about is Azealia Banks, not Remy Ma. So once I found that out a little bit, I kind of felt like, oh, damn it, Remy Ma was in her feelings. But
she jumped out the window, yeah.
Yeah. But then after seeing her on Wendy, it's definitely other things that's going on. This is not about the music right now at this point. It's about her, getting her bag stopped.
So
listening to the first song, I was like, this is hot. Like, a lot of people say...
Wait, talking about Remy? Okay.
So now getting into Remy. So listening to Shether, I'm like, okay, she's got everybody... Like how everybody else is saying, she's not really... with the flow, I guess, of everything, but everything she's saying is like bars. It's like, oh, she's going hard, and I couldn't stop listening after hearing the first
it was on repeat.
20 seconds. I was just like, again. But then the second song, I'm just like, I kind of feel like Remy is trying to make this one like a hit, like how Drake did with Meek, and I'm not really feeling it. Maybe I'll catch on like later on in the weeks if I hear it some more.
Because here's my thing about it. A lot of people were saying like, because I saw it last night, but I saw it like after the fact because I was at work or whatever. But right. So I don't be on the internet all day. But I saw a lot of people saying like, like Remy took an L, like how Remy gonna like dig a grave and then bury herself in it. And I think the problem that a lot of people had with this track, it wasn't that it wasn't good, it just wasn't as good as Shether. Like, the track itself isn't a bad track. Right. Like, especially, like, if you, like, actually listen to it and break it down. Like,
are you dumb?
Yeah, are you dumb? You wore a pink chicken wing chain. Are you dumb? That shit? First of all, when she came... Okay, so first of all, where were you at when you heard it? Because I think that, like, really puts a lot of things into perspective.
Damn, I don't even remember. And it was just last week.
No, so it was crazy for me because the song dropped Saturday afternoon. Saturday, I was doing a lot of running around. But Saturday...
I was definitely home.
Yeah, but shout out to The Read because The Read had their 4th anniversary show. And we went... And, like, they played it before the show. And it was, like... First of all, it was, like, a moment. Because, like, to hear that song with, like, like 1,000 people in the room, like, it was just, like... Oh, shit, like, I really see how y'all feeling out here. Like, I see, you know, who's picking sides and shit out here. So,
Niggas is partial.
Right, sorry. And then one more thing about Remy being on Wendy before we wrap up that whole thing. First of all, she threw some shade that I didn't catch until I watched it back, like, again just now. And then she says, be careful who you picking... Oh, one time she says... one rapper once said during a famous beef, be careful who you pick and choose battles with because you just never know. And that's what Nicki Minaj said. I think it was in Roman's Revenge before, when she was coming at Little Kim. So I was like, okay, like I'm catching all of Remy's like little petty jabs. I see it. I'm here for it. Shout out to the Bronx BX.
I'm really petty.
Right?
Like, I'm really petty.
What up?
Remy. Right. Just listening to the song and knowing Remy.
Another one or to?
No, listen to the songs. Remy. Just Remy songs in general.
Gotcha.
And then thinking about the kind of person that Remy plays, like the part that she plays in hip hop, I feel like the only pressure she's putting on Nicki, I guess, is like in the hood. I feel like in the hood, in the community, like with us, it's a problem. Like,
but that's
Nicki can't step foot, like, here and think that everything's okay. Like, she has to say something or it's just like, you're a done deal. But internationally, I feel like you can't really dead this girl's career at the point where whether it's drinks, whether it's clothing, perfume, her barbs, like everybody.
Well, she just got dropped from Kmart, so. That's just me being petty. I think she just got dropped because she wasn't selling no clothes.
Right.
Like, who the fuck still wants Pink Friday t-shirts? Yeah. Like, we don't need Pink Friday anything in our lives anymore, so.
Exactly. But with that said, I just feel like her career is never going to end, even musically. But I do feel like the people, us, we're just gonna be like
real niggas out here.
Nicki.
Yeah, I already feel about Nicki. Yeah. So I'm just like, I don't know. Do you think Remy did too much though? 'Cause a lot of people are just like, oh, Remy like took it too far now. Like even in the original one, like I do have to say this though.
She did a lot in the
first. Sometimes that I don't like. Sometimes not sometimes, just being like a hip hop fan. Sometimes I hate when beefs happen. Because it either falls down to two things. When women beef with each other, it always becomes misogynistic, which is crazy, but like in a weird way, like they become like dudes and they just like down talk the other woman, A, and then B, it becomes very slut shamey. And I'm just like it's always just like, oh yeah, but you know, you suck dick and oh yeah, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, oh, all right, come on.
Yeah, because men never have to like oh, you was banging her out in the back of the store.
But men, okay. But not off the track either though, because when men do it, it always comes down to being super homophobic. So I'm just like, every time these beefs happen in hip hop, I'm always just like, oh God, like can we just keep it like petty on wax, but not like take it like to that level. So.
Yeah, she definitely did not have to put out another song. But since we're here, Remy's not stopping. Nicki's not stopping.
I think Remy's done now. I think when she was.
No, I mean like musically. Like she's putting on an album.
Oh, please,
she just has a song with Keisha Cole out.
Plata Plomo is actually a really good album.
Oh really? Plata.
There's a Plata Plomo.
Shout out to Joe for like being Big Brother on Wendy Williams today because he's
Fat
like,
Joe. I think about somebody you knew. I was listening like, okay, who's Joe? I was dead like, okay.
Because I know him, right? Joe. Fat Joe, because he's like on Wendy. He's like, I'm a born again Christian.
Yeah, right. Like I'm staying out of this.
I'm trying to get everybody saved over here. 2 points for him.
Exactly. All right, I think that's all I had. Oh, one more thing for the Nicki stands. Because
one more thing.
A lot of you girls have just been doing a whole lot, and I understand that some of you all are young to this hip-hop thing. Mm-hmm. You know, the first rapper you ever appreciated was Nicki Minaj. Let me just walk you through some quick history.
What?
Real quick.
The first rapper they ever appreciated? You think so?
You better talk to some of these bobs.
Not watching this show, you not.
Well, I assume that this might trickle into some people's, recommended. So I'm just going to address them properly because I just want to make this very clear. So, A, when it comes to hip-hop beefs, there's one thing that we are looking at as hip-hop fans, and that is bars. Barbs. We're only looking for bars. That's it. There's only two things that Nicki Minaj can do right now. Give us some beats, give us some bars. That's all we care about. We don't give a fuck how many records you sold, what video you shooting, how much your glasses cost,
how your pussy pops,
if your butt
your money is breaking.
Right. If that ass did or did not drop, we don't give a fuck. Well, we give a fuck a little bit because we petty. But in the sake of this battle, we only care about one thing, and those are the bars. So until you actually properly respond on wax with the record, not tweeting Trey songs, not
that was so whack.
Like
how she tweeted everybody addressed
Remy.
I felt like we were all in school, right? And this girl's getting like, we're like, yo, you're gonna fight Remy, right?
Yeah, right, at 3 o'clock.
She's like, yeah, I'm gonna fight her. And then everybody's like saying their words. And she's like, but I don't care, because da-da-da-da. And Remy's getting in her face like, she's like, but why are you doing that? And it's like, Nicki, fight Remy.
Remy was like, at Nicki Minaj, in case you don't get it, girl, I'm gonna send it directly to you. And you still had nothing to say.
Like, she was in your face, literally about to punch you, and you was still, like, talking to Trey on the side. Like, it was not
And
that
the one
serious.
thing I don't like that Nicki's taking about this approach, because it's not like Nicki's just, like, in hiding somewhere. Like,
she's not.
It's not like she's, like, actually, like, on set somewhere. Well, she is on set somewhere working. But I mean, like, she's not on set where, like, she can't, like, be doing things. Like, the fact that she's still so passively aggressive on Twitter.
And then you try to get Beyonce to co-sign.
First of all, leave Beyonce the fuck out of this. I was going to bring this up, because you know how I get, but since you brought it up, girl, leave Beyonce's ass out of this. Beyonce 1, 2, and 3 don't want to have nothing to do with this. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. But, the fact that she's so passively aggressive, like, liking tweets, like, on Twitter, I'm just like, girl, this means nothing. Like, until you actually, like, step in the booth, put on your headphones, and turn on the mic, we don't care what you have to say.
And let me tell you something. I'm still going to listen to Look at Ass Nigga if it comes on in rotation.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's my shit.
And I don't hate Nicki Minaj. Let me make that very clear.
Right.
I don't hate Nicki Minaj. I actually think Nicki Minaj is a pretty good rapper. Like, I have been off the Nicki train since she tried to like, you know, dismiss that whole Little Kim thing. I'm just like, girl, you're not gonna, like, it's obvious that you like you've been inspired by this woman.
And
like,
when I see that she's really not part of the culture, when she wasn't a part of the hip hop awards last year for women on VH1, I was like, she's really not down. Like, you can't get.
I don't think she was invited.
Well, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
Sounds personal. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, like, obviously Nicki Minaj is a good rapper. Like, you know, I've heard her rap before. Yeah. I like Monster. She bodied that shit. Mm-hmm. Roman's Revenge is one of my favorite Nicki songs. Right. But we're not talking about shit that she did 5 years ago, 6 years ago, even 2 years ago.
And I still listen to old Nicki, so.
Well, I don't listen to that, though. But to the Nicki stands that are probably, you know, like, you know, in Mrs. Frizzle class right now, because, you know, a lot of them are really young, I just want to say, listen, let me just describe this in a way that you all can probably really understand. Right. So when Miss Frizzle says you have a science project due at the end of the year, you cannot be like, oh, but look at my midterm. My midterm was popping. No, girl, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about delivering today. So until you present that final project, we don't care. So until Nicki actually comes back and, like, actually has something valid to say, I don't give a fuck about Make Love, a Jason Derulo, a Monster, a Roman's Revenge. All of those bars are cool and great. Even Swaggity Ann, or whatever that song, or Raggedy Ann, whatever it was. Even those, fantastic. But until you're presenting us with this, we don't care. That's all I have to say.
That is all.
To be the queen of rap, you actually have to R.A.P. G.I.R.L. So
Another one.
Everything you did has been a dub. Your whole life is a dub.
Are you dumb?
Are you dumb? You wore a lemon beehive on your head. Are you dumb? I really need that, like, in the button. Remember, like, from Staples? Like, that was easy. Yeah, I need, like, no, not a pen. I like the button. Like, are you dumb? I need that.
Imagine, like, Build-A-Bear.
You can make those.
And you press it like, Mommy, look. Are you dumb?
And it's just fucking Remy in, like, a New York Fit, some Timbs. Are you dumb?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we gotta get into this Lauren London story.
Yes, for real.
So Lauren London, she had gained weight, I guess, in the last couple of weeks. And the internet is really going off. So this picture came up of her and her husband, Nipsey Hussle. For those who don't know, they've been married
a basketball game
since 2013. And they were at a basketball game, and you see Lauren London, her face, her arms, they seem to have gotten a bit bigger. And people just really start to body shame.
Attack her, yeah.
And I think they're doing this mostly because at one point she was the it girl. She was the girl that everybody loved.
That every guy loved,
Face, skin,
we
hair.
all loved, everybody wanted to be Nunu.
Everybody wanted to be Nunu. So it's just like, you have this girl who is, like, amazing in high school, and then she gets out and now she's fat.
Now you a dub. Everything you're doing is a dub. So she released a statement on Instagram to clap back at the haters. She says, I've been getting compliments on my looks for years. I never let it gas me because I knew the enduring value in all things is internal. When I decided to have my son, I knew the internet would be cruel. I knew the casting directors would consider me out of commission for at least a year. I knew my body would change, but I did not let fear of those things affect me to the point of going against my spirit. I asked myself, would you rather be at conflict with yourself and at peace with the world, or at peace with yourself and at conflict with the world? Right. I chose the latter. At that moment, I was ready for whatever it came with. This little weight will get worked off, and who I am will be uncompromised. Win, no. Win? I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but
it's like win, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then she signed it, LL the Great. And then Little Duval was like, I thought this was LL Cool J though. Because he's a dumbass. But yeah, so
Boogie, y'all.
Right. So first, the fact that Lauren is 5'2", which means nothing, but you know, in the world of like weight gain, like, you know, the shorter you are, if you put on 3 pounds, like, you know, it's visible. Like, yeah, obviously, like, the taller you are, you know, the more stretches out, whatever. And then she just had a baby like a year ago, if that long ago. So I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? And I don't know why people feel so like. And I was going to say on the internet, but just in general, people feel so comfortable commenting on people's weights. Right. And as someone that used to be bigger, I'm just like, this is not your place, boo-boo. Like, if I didn't ask you if I've gained 10 pounds, don't tell me I've gained 10 pounds. Now, if it's one thing, if you're really like, if you told me, like, oh, Malcolm, you know, you're gaining, like, first of all, if I'm gaining some weight, I know I'm gaining fucking weight. Like, we all have mirrors. We all go on Snapchat. Like, nobody's confused about how they're looking. But I'm just like, if your weight gain is now affecting your health, then that's one thing when I could be at least more understanding and more accepting of just like, you know, like, have you been to the doctor recently? Like, I'm not trying to be shady, but, you know, you have, like, you're getting up there. That I can get. But for this woman that just gained merely 10, 20, even if it's 30 pounds from having a baby,
She's 32.
Like, 32.
She has a baby. She has a whole entire husband. So she has a family going on, and she's still working with her career. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of women in their 30s are gaining this weight. Their metabolism is slowing down. It's just how our bodies work. Whether we're super fertile, or our breasts get bigger, or our hips start to expand, it's just a part of our bodies. It's just how it works. So I think the real reason why people are just antagonizing her is because she used to be this, or she still is this beautiful girl, but now that she has added this fat to her, I guess, people just don't know how to act, and they just want to be rude, and they want to be mean, and it's like,
because I mean, and I, not to say I get that, but I get, like, it's the whole, like, it's the internet, you know, everybody trying to make it on the shade room for a clapback. Yeah, I get it. I get what you girls are doing. Like, everybody's just trying. Everybody's just trying to have a moment. Fine, have your moment, but I'm just like, when you actually come for people like that. Like, that shit hurts. Like, even as somebody that, I guess, you know, is like now, like, I guess on the other side of weight loss. And I hate when people say things like that because, you know, weight is a spectrum, just like sexuality. But it's just like, you could gain 30 pounds tomorrow, girl. Like, you know, just because you're skinny, it doesn't mean you're healthy. And it doesn't mean, like, you know, like it's just dumb. And, like, somebody said this to me the other day. And because they're my friend, I'm not going to put them completely on blast like that. But somebody was like, we were talking about, like, going to the gym or whatever. And, he was like, oh, like, how come you, like, do you, like, work out or whatever? And I was like, no, my body is fine. Like, you know, like, my doctor says I'm good. Like, my body says I'm good. Like, you know, I'm not 3,000 pounds. Like, I don't need, like, I mean, we don't need to work out. But, like, I don't need to work out. Like, it's not like I'm, like, in a situation right now where I'm just, like, you know, ooh, one more breath and, you know, conked out on the floor. But I'm just, like, so because I brought up about weight, so he was like, oh, so if you gain, like, you know, 20 pounds, can I tell you to go to the gym then? I was like, you can never tell anybody to go to the gym because that's just not how that works. Like, I don't know why people feel so comfortable about discussing weight. And I get it, like, you know, weight is obviously not a thing. Like, you know, it's something that is, like, you know, that you don't technically have to own. So, like, you can lose weight, you can gain weight. Like, weight is not something that you ideally have to have your whole life, which is why I think a lot of people feel comfortable joking about it, because it's just like, oh, well, you can just lose weight. Like, you know, you don't have to be fat. Like, you have to be black, you have to be a woman, but you don't have to, like, be, like...
And another thing, if you are experiencing a time with your partner, your friend, your relative, and you see that they're eating certain things or they're going through certain habits, how about you break them now before they gain all that weight? I see Malcolm does it to me all the time. If I put too much sugar in my tea, he will be like, yo, that's too much sugar. I
haven't done that in a long time now.
Yeah, but I know you enough.
Because you changed the game, but this girl used to be crazy, y'all. And it wasn't even for, like, a weight thing. It was, like, a health thing. I was like, girl, like...
But right, and I think that a lot of people don't even do that. They wait until the person gets fat, or they wait until they become obese, or they wait until they have diabetes, and they're like... You should eat more salad, or you should put, you know, some vinegar on your greens, or whatever the case might be, or more pineapples. It cuts the fat. It's
sounds like some Rachel Ray ass shit.
But bitch,
put vinegar on my collard greens. What the fuck raised you? Like,
but where were you 2 years ago when I was like with the honey bun?
Right, with the honey bun, right?
No, you weren't there.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Right. So, but you wasn't with me eating in the gym.
Hello.
Because I wasn't at the gym.
Exactly.
I was at Red Rooster.
So don't come for her, sis. Now, don't try to come for sis.
Yeah, exactly. Now. And she had a fucking baby, y'all. Like, quiet the fuck down. Anyway, let's move on. All right, so from one...
Not everybody can be Tiana.
From a bunch of... No, for real, right? So from a bunch of dumbasses on the internet, just simply one dumbass on the internet. So, don't know if you're familiar with the comedian Jess Hilarious, but here's a picture of her. She is pretty popular on Instagram. Yeah. I didn't know her name until this story came out, but once I saw who it was, I was like, oh, I definitely know who this girl is. So, she posted this picture the other day of her and her son online, and it's... We're going to get to the mothers of the movement in a second. So, she posted a picture of her son online the other day.
Shit like this make me want to get naked purposely. Like, look at my body.
I mean, we could use the reviewers. Like, subscribe, nigga, subscribe.
Purposely.
So, it's her and her son sitting there. She is pressed up against her son. She is sitting there. I guess it is completely naked. I don't see a string or anything there. So, I assume that she doesn't have on, like, a thong or anything.
Correct.
Her son is sitting in her lap with sneakers on and a pair of, like, boxers. And, boxers. And the comedian by the name of Corey Holcomb got up on the internet and pretty much discussed why he felt indifferent about this. So he says that is a part what's wrong with that is a part of what's wrong with Black America. These whores don't want their sons to be bitches. Fucking disgusting. So we're gonna get back to him calling her a whore and a bitch in a second, and the little boy a bitch too, ideally.
Right.
So Jess got on Instagram. We're going to fast forward this part a little bit, but she got on Instagram, responded basically, in a very Jess Hilarious kind of way, like,
even though it wasn't really funny.
Yeah, you swallowed, I thought it was a little funny. She's like, you swallowed your whole career. The only time you could be a real comedian is when you dress up as Cedric the Entertainer on, like, Halloween. Like, there was some cute jabs in there. Funny. I got it. So, Corey Holcomb then went on TMZ sometime this week, maybe like Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever, and, they wanted to talk to him about the story.
It's more
and a couple things that he said about her, with this picture. He says this is pedophile behavior. And he also said one more thing about, again, like wanting, their black men wanting their sons to be bitches ideally. And then he said, so there was a part where she mentioned that she was going to be on Wild 'N Out. So Corey pretty much said that she wasn't going to be on Wild 'N Out. He found out that was a lie. But he said he was nice enough to let her come on tour with him and open up for him, and he would slide her a couple of dollars, so on and so forth, which was already condescending enough. But then he had the nerve to say, I have her on the road doing strange things for a couple of dollars. In my mind, I heard sucking dick.
So the picture...
Or some type of sexual favors.
The picture was strange, and you hated it.
Yeah.
But you want her to do strange things for a couple of dollars?
And I'm just like...
I thought you were against strange.
Yeah, you don't like strange. Yeah.
You clearly don't like strange.
You like the no strange committee. Like, you don't enjoy these things.
Exactly.
So... I'm going to slide it right over to the mother, because I know when it comes to privilege in America, this is not the space that I occupy the hardest. So
what I am going to say is that when I see Eurocentric paintings, you see the white woman that's like this, and she has like a scarf coming down right here, and her vagina is showing, her titties are showing, and she's with the baby, and the baby is going up like this. You know what pictures I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I really feel like this is just misogynistic, it's sexist, it has to do with misogynor people and how they feel about black women. The only problem I have with these picture is the Jordans. I don't support Michael Jordan. I don't like him. I've seen what he has done.
Those 12s came out, there was a dub. Everything you make is a dub, Michael Jordan.
I just don't support him. That's the only thing.
That's fair.
But other than that, I have no problem with nudity. I do not sexualize it. I don't see penis all the time. I mean, I barely see penis now. But the point that I'm trying to make is that...
I'll invite you out one weekend. Some of us are living just fine.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
People say it's inappropriate, but the only thing they can bring it to is that she's naked with her son. It's like he came out of me.
Yeah.
That's the entire fuck.
And I can't even front. I do think it's because at 5-year-old you have a very good memory. So
correct.
I don't know if I would want to be sitting. I mean, I don't have a choice, but I don't know if I want to be sitting on my mother at 5 years old with her completely naked. I'm like, all right, girl, can we have something to ourselves?
This is something that the son is clearly used to, though.
But I also don't have a problem with it if she doesn't have a problem with it.
Right.
I'm not like, oh, girl, get your titties out of his face, First of all, who cares? And then back to Corey Holcomb really quickly.
He's just talking about titties. What are you saying?
This is pedophile behavior. And I'm just like, do you know what a fucking pedophile is? That's not the definition of pedophilia, you jackass. So I'm just like...
You mad because you can't stand next to your son and y'all be naked and happy together? Because you will probably sexualize him? Whose fault is that?
So loud and so wrong. So loud and so wrong. You have no dog in this fight, dog.
And then they try to bring it to, if they had a man doing this with his child, everybody would call the police. But then, luckily, somebody had put up a picture, bada bing, bada boom, of a man with his beautiful fro and his beautiful skin with his black baby, and it's a beautiful picture. Yeah. You can't depict it any other way, and I think this is just stemming from a man who doesn't like his skin. And then, my friends, we have this beautiful picture of a man because people were saying that, if it was a man, this will be, disgusting and somebody will actually have to...
From a distance, that was Old Boy from Moonlight. Yeah, right.
Trevante?
No, not Trevante.
That's not Trevante.
I know Trevante, but Trevante! No, the one that Trevante went to the diner for. He was
yes,
you
I know.
The chef special? And I was like...
No, but luckily somebody did post a picture of a man with his son, with his beautiful fro, his beautiful complexion. Every time I hear Trevante, I'm like, Trevante!
2 T's and 4 E's.
Any Trevante, Dante, Javel, Javid, just those names are...
Hakeem, Jamal. Anyway, get back to... So we get out of here. The show's already fucking 9 hours long.
But the point that it is very hot in here.
Yes,
but the point that I'm trying to make is that I think that it's not. I don't find this picture inappropriate at all.
Yeah, it's a man with his fucking baby.
It's just people between the man, the woman.
Yeah.
Even with the white people in the pictures doing this. Like, I don't mind. Do your thing. It's beautiful. And I think that if you're able to be that kind of intimate and have that parent-child relationship, I think it's really important so they understand, not just, oh, what a breast, what a vagina. But, these are not just sexual organs, you know what I mean? This is
what got you here.
This is life. This is nutritious. Like
nutritious.
But yeah, it's really hot in here. Thank God I wore a tank top today.
Yeah, they're magically delicious. I think that's all I have to say. Yeah. All right, I'm done with Corey Holcomb. Oh, and that's one thing I want to say. And then he's just like, this was wrong with the black community. I'm like, no, you're what's wrong with the black community.
Wrong, exactly.
Like, you are actually what the problem is, because there's not, first of all, to call this little boy bitch, it was just like, must you call each other bitches and whores? Like, when you guys do it, it just makes it okay for guys to do it. Who in here has ever been called a slut or a whore?
He doesn't even go here.
Right? So anyway, if you got that reference, then salute to you. If not, well then.
Right.
You didn't grow up loving, one white popular teen movie. Because that's the only really white movie I can quote. Like, everything else, I'm just like, that's from American Pie? Maybe?
I just know the, you really think you're pretty part.
Right. Yeah. Oh, thanks. So you do think you're pretty. I mean,
but yeah, I hope that, but seriously, on a serious note, I do hope that everybody gets to reach this level of intimacy with their child, with their friends, beyond relationships, because I think it's really important.
Can I be your child?
No.
Okay. All right, well, let's move on right on into Slay It, Sis.
Yay!
It's not her.
No.
So, for Black History Month, we were doing a lot of, what was it called? Not unsung.
Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures, yes, thank you. So we did a lot of Hidden Figures. Mm-hmm. So this week, I felt like we should just take it back to just like a regular old classic, like not do nothing too serious. Just a good old, this is the true definition of Slay It, Sis. Like, because this is like the true joy of being, we say black girl magic, black boy joy. This is like, black girl magical joy. Like this
black
woman.
Girl magical joy.
This woman is 100 years old. And
the reason why we're here today.
Right? And look, just look at her. Just, And she is just busting it, celebrating her 100th birthday. I wish I knew her name and where she was from. But I don't know. But I just know that she is beautiful. Gloria. This is amazing. Gloria Jenkins. Shout out to the Jenkins.
Come on, Gloria.
But yeah, so shout out to her. Just doing it. Right? And she can share. I should know that line, right?
Me too.
Stood right beside me.
Hey, get it.
Yeah, so shout out to her. That just warmed my heart when I saw that this week. So I was like, you know what, girl? I don't know your name. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you did in your life. I'm pretty sure you were fabulous. The fact you have all these people at your, the fact that somebody at your party was
100 people,
young enough
100 years old, and still like having an amazing party.
Yep, young enough to have a Snapchat. So you definitely brought up a couple of generations, I'm sure. So shout
I'd be
out to you,
scared to throw parties because I think nobody's gonna come, and she over here 100 years old.
Oh, they probably didn't throw it. It was like, Mama, we having your party at 2:00. Be downstairs and dressed. She was like, all right, well, let me slip on these shoes and clack right out the door.
Puts on wig.
Right, puts on wig. Because that was surely a nice little church outfit. They probably did it after church. They probably
yes, amen.
Right, but yes, so shout out to her. And shout out to y'all. So thanks for watching.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, if you didn't subscribe to Still Diverted yet, you dumb. So subscribe.
You would dumb.
Right. Follow the Instagram. Follow, like the Facebook page. Get at her at DJ Madam K. I'm at _. Hey Malcolm. Thanks for watching.
I do on my page all the time.
You sure do. You surely do, DJ. That's what that is. So thanks for watching.
Fake news.
Right?
Fake
news. It's ridiculous. Not here for it. It's disgusting. It's alternative facts. Alright, bye y'all.
Take care, guys. Have a great weekend. And if you haven't gone to see Get Out yet, go check it out. And if you want to see it with me, just hit me up in like my DM because I really want to see it this Saturday.
I want to see it. Oh, I can't go on Saturday.
Or Sunday night. We could like work something else.
And thanks for all the well wishes. We're gonna be the dad to Trevante Rhodes Jr. So
Trevante.
Thanks so much.
Oh my gosh, Trevante.